Hey guys, we are going to recap a movie called Outback. Keep watching because it's a great thriller movie.
Are you serious? We came on.
There's a snake.
Get back in the car.
The events of the film open with a girl named Lisa, who was with her lover, Wade, at the airport. They were heading to Australia to spend some time together, but we discover that Wade had a dispute with Lisa. She tried to talk to him and resolve the dispute so that they could enjoy their trip, but he was not interested in that. After that, they went to the car rental center to start their tourism program in Australia. He put the ring inside the car away from him as an expression of his annoyance, but she asked him to keep the ring in a safe place for fear of losing it. But as usual, he was not interested in her conversation. The reason Wade did this was because she rejected his marriage proposal. Their trip then begins to the beaches of Copacabana, which is one of the famous beaches in Australia. We see her enjoying their trip, and she asked him to go to the Opera Palace so that she could photograph these happy moments. But he was upset and did not feel any happiness because of the amount of anger inside him. He thought that she did not love him because she rejected the marriage proposal. Then they went to the beach. She asked him to forget the past and have fun together for 2 weeks. Now we must know why she rejected Wade's marriage proposal. The main reason for this was because of his profession, because he worked as an officer, and she hated this profession because she believes that officers do not spend enough time with their families and spouses, and that they are the people most at risk. Also, Wade was about to join the army in 2 weeks, and that he would remain in the army for 4 years. Then he decided to move on. They enjoyed the trip and started spending quality time at the beach. While swimming, he is stung by a jellyfish. He felt so much pain. So they went back to the car. They decided to return and complete their tourist program until the next day. The next day, they continued their trip and tourism program. Wade was heading to the Australian coast because the nature there was different, but she refused that and was not interested in visiting this place. She told him that they could change their tourism program to an adventure program. She asked him to go to the desert and that there were resorts and a beautiful tourist program and they could venture there. But he refused because he hated the desert so much. He told her that the desert was 32 hours away for them to reach. But even though it was exhausting and tiring, she wanted to go through this experience because she loves adventurous trips. After intense insistence from her, he surrendered to the reality and decided to agree. Then they went to the desert, and he was upset because he was going to the place he hated the most. While on the way, he decided to stop at a rest stop. One of the workers at the rest stop became curious and asked Wade if they were tourists or residents of the city. He was surprised by his question, but he answered that he was a tourist and heading towards the desert. The worker was shocked and warned him not to go there. He asked him why, but the worker did not tell him and asked him to be careful because the place was very dangerous. He felt worried, but decided not to tell Lisa in order to make her enjoy her trip. After more than 32 hours, they reached the desert. He was surprised because when they arrived in the desert, their GPS broke down, and their phones also had no network. The place is a deserted place and there are no people. Lisa, when she saw this, she felt afraid and remembered what Wade said when he refused to go more than once. She asked him to return to the city so they could complete their tourism program. But he wanted to take revenge on her because she was adamant in her decision. So he told her to be adventurous and that this was the best chance for her to discover the consequences of her mistakes. Wade was shocked by the place because the desert was devoid of any entertainment. He asked her to go to the end of the hill to see if there was anyone in this place. Indeed, they went to the hill and discovered that they were the only ones in the place. Then they tried to return to the car, but they lost their place. They continue searching for the car, but to no avail. Lisa breaks down and tells him that they will stay here until they die. But he told her that they would only stay for a day and that they would return tomorrow to search for the car. They actually slept. The next day they woke up and started looking for the car, but the desert was large and barren, and they started going to random places. They felt very thirsty and hungry. Lisa suggested that they rest today and continue searching for the car the next day. She told him that if they returned to the city, she would agree to the marriage proposal. She told him that her refusal was not because he joined the army, but because the time was not right. But now, she completely agreed to marry him because he risked his life to make her happy. While sleeping, we see a scorpion walking on Wade's body, and then on Lisa's body and stinging her. The next day, he wakes her up so they can start their day, but she doesn't wake up because of the scorpion sting. He collapsed and started screaming. He saw a small plane and tried to call for help, but to no avail. He picked up Lisa and started looking for the car. He arrived at a high hill and made a mark in the dirt and placed Elisa on it. He also took a piece of wood and made marks on the ground so that he could return to the place. Then he decided to collect rocks and write an SOS. After a short period, Lisa woke up and was feeling severe pain due to the scorpion sting. She started screaming and looking for Wade. Then he lost his way back to Lisa and was broken down, repeating the phrase that he was the reason for all of this. Lisa also started searching for Wade, but to no avail. On the third day, he was still searching for Lisa and the car. Finally, he found the car. He felt happy, but when he tried to start the car, he found that the car was not starting. He felt frustrated. He tried to repair the car with all the means available to him, but to no avail. He felt broken, so he decided to leave the car and decided to go back to looking for Lisa. After a long search, night came, and he decided to rest and sleep. Meanwhile, Lisa is filming herself on the phone and saying that she does not know whether she will survive or not. She apologizes to Wade and tells him that she thanks him because he did not reject any of her requests despite her rejection of the marriage offer. She hopes to see him and accept his marriage proposal. The next day, Wade was in pain and hungry and could not continue searching for her. Lisa woke up and found the marks that Wade was making on the ground, so she decided to go south. Finally, she found Wade, who was feeling very tired. She went to him and apologized to him for her actions. He told her that he found the car, but he forgot to turn off the car lights, and unfortunately, the battery had died. He asked her to follow his footprint so she could go to the car and find someone to help them, but she refused to leave him and asked him to go together. But Wade loses consciousness, so she decides to follow his steps to get to the car. She already got to the car, but the car did not start, so she took the ring from the car. Then she found a snake inside the car, but she remained calm and was able to save herself. Then she puts the ring on her hand. Then she plays a video she filmed at the airport, telling her mother that she broke Wade's heart because she rejected his marriage proposal in front of people. Then she loses consciousness due to hunger and thirst. Then she woke up and found that Wade was giving her water, but all of that was just hallucinations. The one giving her water was an adventurous girl. Indeed, she saved Lisa. We also discover that Wade died in the desert due to hunger and thirst. As for Lisa, she remained regretful throughout her life because she made two mistakes. The first mistake was rejecting the marriage proposal, and the second mistake was her insistence on going to this desert.